The NZONE project is the vision of United Maori Mission's director, Terence Wallace. He grew up on the mean streets of Chicago, but accepted Christ into his life when he was a teenager. In 2010, God not only called him to New Zealand to head up the United Maori Mission, but also gave him the idea for the NZONE project, an opportunity for Maori and Pacific Island students from around the country to live at one of the mission's hostels while they attend Auckland Boys Grammar. In January 2011, Terence's vision became a reality, with 29 students living at the Lovelock Hostel in Mount Eden. But due to an increase in numbers this year, the group of now 50 boys has had to be accommodated at the newly renovated Owens Road Hostel here in Epsom, where several hundred people gathered to welcome the special group of young men to their new home. The new intake of students were welcomed in the traditional custom of a pōwhiri. The karanga or call is usually performed by women and is the first voice to be heard at a pōwhiri. Martha Ngāwaka calls the visitors or manuwhiri onto the hostel grounds under the banner of God's love. A group of 25 new boys was welcomed by last year's students. Kaumātua from the United Maori Mission and the whānau of the new boys are united in their formal speeches or whai kōrero in support of the whole NZONE project. That support will ensure their young men will have a promising future. Terence described today's event as a bit of a miracle. Just before the end of last year, they had to do urgent renovations to the hostel so that the new intake of boys could start at the beginning of this year. Terence says there were a lot of people who thought today wouldn't happen.
Nobody really believed that it was possible and that it could happen in such a short time, but on that day to see God get the glory and to see so many people's faiths increase as a result of what happened in this place was remarkable. Yeah.
Tell me about some of the renovations that had to happen here in the hostel.
We had to have a new kitchen, all new appliances. The entire place honestly just needed a complete makeover. It was deplorable as far as I'm concerned for any of our boys to have to live in. And so we wanted to meet the guidelines, but we wanted to also allow them to physically witness the glory of God and to see what it was and how God could transform an environment as well as one of their lives. So it was really important to me to see that.
Why is the project so important for these young men?
Number one, it's important because of the faith element, teaching them that through Christ all things are made possible. And then the other side of that, being Maori and Pacific Island, many of them coming from Decel 1 schools, giving them that quality of education where they have the resources or the options to succeed and go as high as their full potential. Giving these boys a better education means that this is one less likely to end up incarcerated in a prison, one less likely to end up domestic violence or drugs and alcohol. So that's the co-papa of this whole initiative, is to make sure that we can do that.
What will it mean for the future of their whānau and communities?
Oh man, this will honestly mean that for some of these boys, this means that a generational, I would almost say curse, is broken of poverty, because there's no doubt that these boys will excel, go on to university, get good jobs, and be able to go back and give to their communities. And then they basically, because of their journey, they can go back and sponsor another kid to take the same journey they've been privileged to take. Yeah.
Notisi Mangele is housemaster at the hostel, and he says that he and his wife have waited 2 years for this day to arrive.
The chance to work with these young men is what signed us up to this job, just to have an influence on young Māori and Pacific Island boys, to share what Terence wants. These boys will be the future of this country, and to be a part of that really is, that's really special. Not a lot of people will have that chance. They're our sons, and we're going to be as nice and as hard as we have to be to them, and we do that because we want them to be something.
Now, this whole work is a faith-based work, based on Christian values. How important is that role in terms of what you'll be doing with the young boys?
That's very important. I grew up with those sort of values and morals, and to have the chance to not only show my kids, but to also show a whole bunch of, 50 kids now, so that's a lot. Yeah, and it's very important because it's written, this is like a guidebook of what is right, what is wrong, and just be nice and all that sort of stuff, so it's really good that way.
Ne'emia Sue is one of the new students this year. He sees this as the opportunity of a lifetime for him to pursue a career as a professional sportsman like other students who have gone before him.
I'm excited to go grammar because it gives opportunities that some of these boys and myself, that we don't have at home. And I would like to do well in school, academically and in sport. So I guess Auckland Grammar is the best school to go to.
So what would you like to become when you graduate? Do you have a dream or a profession you'd like to do?
Well, when I was young, I've always wanted to be an All Black and play professional rugby.
In 2011, the first year of the NZONE project, the majority of the boys excelled academically. One student made history by progressing 8 levels over the school year. Terence believes this year's students will also achieve high academic results.